Well, obviously it's a very important series this weekend, our last regular season SEC series against Georgia. And, with where we're sitting right now, obviously every game is extremely important. And we need to try to get off to a good start tomorrow night against Georgia. We need to play our best baseball of the year. We have some guys out, but that's okay. We still got to play the games, and we still got to play well. I think Justin Rowe played extremely well last night, filling in for Madison, and we're just going to have to continue to pick each other up and come together and play great baseball. Obviously, how we play this week is going to determine a lot of what comes the next couple of weeks. So it's just where we are, and let's play great baseball. We're looking forward to it. It's our last weekend for some seniors on our team, and obviously it's a big weekend with the magnitude of the game. So we're excited about playing at home against a rival in Georgia, and we look forward to trying to play our best baseball of the season.
Georgia seems to have gotten a little better here of late.
They have good players. They got some older guys in the lineup. Pitching is coming around now and pitched better of late, and they're coming off of 2 big series wins, one at Kentucky and obviously against Mississippi State. So we know they present a great challenge, and we've been kind of more focused on ourselves over the last several days, and hopefully we just play our best baseball. And that doesn't guarantee us we're going to win necessarily, but we just got to keep putting ourselves in position to win games, and hopefully we can make that pitch or make that play when the game's on the line this weekend. We failed to in previous weekends. Maybe we can do it this week and put ourselves in a decent position.
Do you kind of feel like your NCAA tournament starts this weekend, the games you have to win?
Well, I think you can look at it that way. I mean, it's obviously you don't put yourself in a good position at all if you lose the series this weekend. So, there's a lot riding on this weekend for our team, and but we're playing at home, and our kids are excited. They've had a good week of practice, played pretty well last night, and hopefully we'll play great. We're going to have to, and I certainly know. I think our kids understand where they are, and anything short of winning a series is going to put us in a very difficult spot. And obviously we got next week as well, but we need to get off to a good start and try to play one game at a time and go 1-0 tomorrow and keep it simple and then worry about Friday when it gets here.
Between this series and Hoover, is there a number of wins you feel like?
I'll be honest with you. I'm just trying to win tomorrow night, and I don't think anybody knows that. I know our metrics and our numbers are good, but you got to put yourself in that conversation, and it comes with winning some games. We got some games on the table that we need to win, and how many I don't know. That's not I can't answer that. I know that we certainly going to have to win more than we lose for sure, and probably by a couple of games. So we'll see. I don't know if there's a magic number. Let's try to win tomorrow night, and then maybe put ourselves in position to win the series, and we'll be getting a little bit closer to that. But right now it's one game at a time.
I know you said you thought the bullpen issues would go away when Tyler got back. Just what do you feel like has been the problem the last few weeks?
Well, he just hasn't got back into throwing like Tyler can throw. I just think he, over the course of his injury and coming back, he's kind of lost his confidence a little bit in the strike zone, and that's always been his strength. It's not stuff. It's not how hard he's throwing. It's just his command has not been what it was prior to his injury. And had a great bullpen session this week with Coach Myers, and we feel good about where he is. It's one of the first bullpens that Coach Myers has been able to be with him, just because he's been throwing a lot, and 2, his bullpens have been taking place in the course of the game when he's getting loose and getting ready to come into a game. So I think they ironed some things out mechanically and feel good about where he is right now. And he just needs to come in there and be Tyler Johnson. And Tyler Johnson's a guy that's got a great arm that can throw strikes. And he stumbled a little bit because he's lost command of the strike zone.
You sensed Will maybe taking a more vocal role in the dugout?
Yeah, Will's been a great leader. There's no doubt about that, and he's taken ownership of the team, and there's other guys that have as well. But Will's kind of been very vocal the last couple of weeks, and he's trying awfully hard to will his team into position, and feel great about giving him the ball tomorrow night. He's been a fixture around here for a while and worked extremely hard during his rehab last year, and obviously he wants to have the ball in his hands in a game of this type of magnitude, and we feel good about giving it to him, and I hope he'll throw well.
What lineup do you feel good about this weekend, and in particular left field, DH, first base?
Yeah, those things I'm going to have to continue to think about and look at the matchups and the splits, and They're going to throw 2 lefties at us, in the first 2 games. And obviously, TJ is a guy that needs to perform the way he's capable of performing for us in the outfield. Puts another right-handed hitter in there. And I just got to decide on what to do at first. I wrestle with Ross and I wrestle with Hogan. It's just a little give and take there. I like Ross in the batter's box, but Riley swings a pretty good bat and is a little bit better defensively. So, but I can also DH Ross and put him in there from a DH standpoint, but that might make us a little bit weaker in the outfield. So I don't know if there's a perfect answer right now. We'll study it tonight. We'll watch some more video and see kind of what strengths I need to have in there versus the pitcher that we're facing, and we'll make a decision at some point tomorrow.
You feel like you have to have Destino in there?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Alex is, he's swinging the bat a little bit better now. He prior to going to Missouri, he had a really good stretch, big home run last night to help us win the game, and I like him in there. He's just a guy that commands some respect in the other dugout, and he might get pitched around from time to time, but he can create some things for us too. So I know he's disappointed with his batting average, but he can pop the ball out of the park at any time, and he's got experience, and we certainly need his bat in there. We need Carlos and Alex swinging the bat together at the same time for us to be the formidable offense that we want to be.
Harder to manage starters and bullpens with such a quick turnaround for the SEC tournament?
Well, it makes it a little bit different. Yeah, it does. And I'm not thinking too much right now of next Tuesday, to be honest with you. We'll get there when it comes. But right now our focus is on Georgia, and we're not putting one out. So, 1 minute of thought into how we're going to pitch on next week. We'll throw who we have available at that time. Right now is kind of, everybody's available this weekend, and we got to use everybody we need to try to win, whether it's game 1, 2, or 3. And there's no saving anybody or watching somebody's pitch count in regards to their coming back. I mean, obviously we watch pitch counts in regards to health and not putting kids in a bad position, but in regards to a quick turnaround for next week, that's not any part of our concern right now. We're trying to win tomorrow.
Chad, how much is that quad issue hampered TJ even on days of play?
I think it's been a very tough injury for him, and it's been with him for 5 months now. And our trainers don't really know why it hasn't healed. But TJ's a dynamic player, and a big part of his game is his speed, and it's severely hampered him. And I think it's affected his mindset from time to time, just because he doesn't know each and every day if he's going to feel good. And I'm sure it's affected his performance. He won't say it has, but I know TJ is one of the best athletes in college baseball, and this injuries has hampered him from showing that. And we only hope that he gets better here. We gave him last night off, and I hope the rest helps, and he's healthy and ready to go this week. But it's been a tough injury for him, and it's affected him, and it's obviously affected our team as well, because he's such a difference maker when he's healthy.
With Rowe in there, do you feel like he maybe sees more pitches, battles, that kind of stuff?
Yeah,
Rowe's you're looking for?
Rowe's got a great plate approach about him, and he can handle the bat. You can hit and run with him. He's a lot like Jonah Bride in some respects in regards to the way he thinks the game, the way he can play the game, his polish. You can put him in about any spot, and you feel good about him trying to get it done. Whether he needs to hit a fly ball, hit behind the runner, and get a bunt down, you usually feel good about Justin being in there. He's a fundamentally sound player, and so he had a good night last night, and hopefully he can carry that into this weekend.
In addition to Josh and Tyler, are there other guys at the back end that you may turn to earlier if they start struggling, or do you want to stick with those 2 guys?
Well, on the back of the bullpen,
right.
Yeah. I mean, Reed and Coley threw extremely well last night, and with the games of such magnitude and importance, you hate to throw someone in there that hasn't quite been in that spot.
Right.
But all those guys I just mentioned, Reagan and Tyler and Coley and Reed, they've all been in those tough spots. And so that doesn't mean we're going to close Tyler every game. I might put him in the 7th inning tomorrow if his situation presents itself, and we can go to Reagan or Reed or somebody else in the 8th or 9th. So, who knows? Right now we're going to go who we need to go. We might be in the big part of their batting order in the 7th inning or 8th inning, and that might affect who we go to. I think our thinking has to expand in the way that we use the bullpen, just because of the magnitude of the games, and to be honest with you, the way some of the guys are throwing.
When he leashes be shorter, maybe?
Well, I mean, have to. Yeah, we're going to play these games like there's no tomorrow, and you manage differently when you're not thinking about the next day. And there's no thinking about the next day. You're thinking about the game that you're involved in that day, and there's nothing else that matters. And that's how we're going to treat each and every game that we have left on our schedule.
Guys know what's at stake coming into this weekend. Can you speak to the team's sense of urgency heading into the games against us?
Well, I mean, I think they know they have to go out and play. And the one thing I will say about our team is they've played hard every night. And we've had a couple games, maybe 2 on the schedule that's gotten away from us. We've been in position to win every series that we've been in. And on the road, especially, I think the last all road series in the SEC, we've been in position to win the series the last day with, sometimes less than 3 outs to go. And you just got to keep putting yourself in that position. They've played hard, and they've been together this whole time through. I've enjoyed being around them. They just have to make that next step and make a pitch, make a play, defensive play, or come up with a big hit late in the game to kind of cement a big series win. And obviously it's a big one this weekend, and hopefully we'll play our best baseball. We're certainly going to need to.
When you look into your dugout and you see Schmidt and Stokes and Cullen all sitting over there, is that kind of a coach's worst nightmare at this time of the year, not to have all your horses ready to run?
Yeah, I mean, you'd love to be, we'd love to have Clark this weekend, obviously, and Cullen and Madison, but we don't. And you can't. It's not been fun not having all your guys, but at the same point in time, you got to focus on who you do have, and our team is good enough to win with who we have, and that's the mindset that they have to have. If they don't feel good about themselves, or they're going to, feel sorry for themselves with who's hurt, then they're certainly not going to perform. And I didn't sense any of that from our guys. Our guys believe they're good enough to win, and I don't think they're going to use the injury thing as an excuse in any way, shape, or form. And at least I hadn't sensed any of that during our games, during yesterday's game, during practice today. I've liked where their mindset is.
How much has LT's hand bothered him, if at all? And how much do you worry about that?
Well, LT is he's had a bad thumb and wrist for about 2 or 3 months, but I don't worry about LT. LT's a tough kid, and he's going to try to play through it. But he can it flares up on him from time to time, and it puts him in a tough spot and maybe prevents him from swinging the bat as aggressively as he wants to. He left the game last night, obviously, with a migraine headache, and everything has checked out okay with LT, and he does feel better. He didn't practice much today, but he was here at the stadium, and we feel he'll be available tomorrow night.
Is he a more natural shortstop?
I think he's just a middle infielder. I mean, I think he came in as a shortstop, and I think he feels very comfortable playing there. But he's also a middle infielder, and he's gotten really good at turning the double play from second. And he's fine at short as well, but he's really improved as he spent more and more time at second, and I'm sure he would do the same if he played 50 or 60 games at shortstop too. But he's a middle infielder. He's a good baseball player. He's very, very tough. He's had a good, solid year for us, and he's become one of our fixtures in the dugout offensively, and hopefully, he can play well these last few games that we have. All right.
Chad, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.